Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Insight. Well, you have a State of the Union and you have a state of reality. And just this past midweek, in fact, we lost 365 additional points. And this is after the Royal Bank of Scotland called for a minimum correction of 20%, many now calling for potential corrections, which I'm not sure why it's not called a crash, of 50%. But here's the reality, not some State of the Union to get you to believe that the economy is the best it's ever been and wage growth is great and so many jobs are created. I think enough is enough, Mr. President. Here's the reality. $1 trillion plus has already been eliminated from this stock market. And to share some facts and figures with you, it will now take about another 16 years for people to get back to where they were if history repeats itself. Because interesting enough, this time about 15 years ago is when the stock market lost three consecutive times in a row. But this is what I've been trying to teach people, that this is an age demographic challenge. The number of people consuming is at the lowest or smallest point it's been in almost an entire generation. And when we look at this current generation, we boomers in this generation transitioning 10,000 per day to retirement, we stop consuming as we once did and we start conserving by spending down what we've saved. Well, with the cost of living higher, with the uncertainty being greater, more people moving to cash. I've talked to so many people in cash. I've talked to prior CFOs, CPAs, MBAs, and I don't just write books and teach in national radio programs. I'm somebody that meets with a certain number of clients every single year. And it's fascinating to me the number of people are saying, I didn't even know these types of safe indexing solutions worked, where you could have upside without downside. Folks, here's the reality. What people have earned in, let's say, the S&P 500 by being in the ebbs and flows of the market's ups and downs and all arounds has been nothing. Literally nothing when you adjust for inflation. If you don't adjust for inflation, it took through 2014 just to get back basically to even, almost a decade and a half. So here's things that you can do because the real math doesn't lie. Our clients haven't lost a dime when over almost 1,500 points have been evaporated from this market. And they won't lose a dime because they're structured in a vehicle, a safe savings vehicle that has stood the test of time in an asset class that has never failed financially. Many people are calling on the next failure like a Lehman Brothers with what's going on with China's faltering economy and the impact that that's having on oil companies going out of business, the impact that that's having obviously on energy, the energy sector. And so here's what I did. I went back, and this is really geared for folks that have saved at least 200,000 or more, or who can presently save $1,000 or more a month. And I used an example of 200,000. Now, in that 200,000, if we go back to the start of this new millennium, that 200,000 is now approximately 279,000 after 15 years, heading into the 16th year. In our safe indexing solution, just one strategy that, by the way, the S&P has averaged 2.3% over that period of time. Our design, conservatively, if you never changed, has averaged 6.6%, almost 3 times the return. Well, in our design, it can be designed tax-free. So our clients are sitting at 522, over $500,000, 522,000, not hanging on, clinging on to what isn't even now 279,000, because most of the people I speak of, the S&P has gotten hammered. Folks, I want to teach you what you can do. And many people I've talked to, some of them that have been around for a long time said, boy, I've heard of these things, or I wasn't quite sure, but boy, now I'm really aware by taking advantage of this educational free webinar. retirementprotected.com. retirementprotected.com. Just simply go there. It's free. There's no cost or obligation. retirementprotected.com, and register while space is still available. If you prefer, you can call and register while space is still available at 855-668-2928. That's 855-668-2928. The number, once again, 855-668-2928. Imagine, no more losing, no more worrying. This is what is intended to help you learn how this is done and become aware of something you weren't aware of to protect your retirement. Here's to you finding your hidden wealth solution protection.